This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, let me know once you see the screen.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with the very basics. First, we will understand here why cloud is required and why people are moving towards cloud platform. Okay, so our focus will be mainly two certifications. We are going to cover AZ 104, 104 and AZ 305. Okay, so two certifications we are going to cover. Along with, we are going to do the migrations from on-premises to Microsoft Azure. So under the 305, we will do the migration. Okay, like server migration, server migration from data center to Azure using Azure Migrate service. SQL migration we'll do here. Network designing we'll do. Security designing as well. So multiple topics we are going to cover under the 305. Apart from 305, we will understand the Terraform here. Basics, we will understand Terraform. We'll understand like how to deploy infrastructure using a Terraform, and same Terraform script we will push via CI/CD pipeline. Okay, we will discuss CI/CD pipeline. Okay, and CI/CD pipeline we will understand under the Azure DevOps. So this is the overall course we are going to cover here. Okay, so under the AZ104, all the basic concepts we are going to cover, like all the services, like how to deploy, how to configure, how to manage. Under the 305, we are going to discuss all the advanced topics. Okay, let's start with the very basics. First, we will understand the on-premises data center. We will discuss like how on-premises data center works. Along with, we will understand like why people are moving towards cloud platform. Any cloud, it can be a AWS, it can be a Google, it can be a AWS, Azure, Google, Oracle Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, any cloud. Okay, so into the real-time infrastructure, into the traditional scenario, people are using a on-premises data center. So this is the on-prem data center. And into the on-premises data center, now people are using multiple physical components. So let's start with the storages. So this is the sandboxes. This is the storage SAN. This is the FC SAN. It can be a iSCSI, it can be a FCOE SAN. Okay. Then we'll have here physical rack into the data center. You will get the multiple physical racks. This is the rack. And the particular rack you will get with the physical server. So it can be a rack server, it can be a blade server. This is the server. This is the physical server we have. So let's take an example of Dell. It's a Dell server. Okay. So this is the physical layer. Okay. And from the particular layer, we are getting the compute. This is the compute layer. This is the storage layer. This is the compute layer. So from compute layer, we are getting CPU, memory, networks. And top up of that, there is a virtualization. there is a virtualization. Now into the data center, you will get 100% virtualization. Without virtualization, no one is deploying the infrastructure. Any virtualization, it can be a Hyper-V, it can be a VMware ESXi, it can be a Citrix Zen server, any type of virtualization you will get into the industry. So let's take an example of VMware product, because VMware ESXi, VMware virtualization is a market leader. VMware is a company, ESXi is a product. Okay, VMware is a company, ESXi is a virtualization layer. So it's a virtualization layer, and top up of that there is a virtual machine, virtual machines here. And now here we can see the multiple virtual machines top up of physical hardware. So top up of physical hardware, there is a virtualization layer, and top up of virtualization layer, there is a virtual machine. And top up of virtual machine, now you will get the application. You will get first operating system, and top up of OS, there is a application. So this is the virtual machine. So this is the scenario you will get into the on-premises data center when you deal with the infrastructure, on-premises infrastructure. So this is the storage layer. From storage layer, we are getting the storage. Okay. Compute. From compute, we are getting CPU, memory, network. And now top up of that, there is a network layer. This is a network layer. Where all physical servers are getting connected. This is a network layer. This is the network layer. Okay. So by using a network layer, all physical boxes, all virtual machines can communicate with each other. Okay. This is the network layer. These are network switches. Okay. These are core network switches. And all network switches are getting connected with the important layer, which is firewall. This is the firewall. So firewall is a very important layer, very important component, and that particular component is getting deployed in front of your infrastructure. Any firewall, let's take an example of Cisco. So okay, people are using a Cisco firewall, Cisco, Barracuda, SonicWall, Sophos. Okay, let's take an example of Cisco here. So your network switches are getting connected into the firewall using a LAN port. There is a concept of LAN port, WAN port. We will discuss into our next sessions in very detail. So your firewall is getting connected with the network switches. Also, your firewall is getting connected with the ISP as well. ISP with the help of LAN port, WAN port. Okay. So what I wanted to highlight, all the ISPs are getting terminated into the firewall. Okay. So your internet we are getting via firewall. My internet is getting redirected via firewall. Okay. So firewall will do the filtering, internet filtering, and then as an end user or server will access the firewall, internet here. Okay. So internet we are getting via firewall. Into the firewall team will do the configuration. Firewall team will set the rules. Okay. Firewall team will do the security, configure the security layer. Okay. So that's why firewall is very important. Created or configured in front of our infrastructure, IT infrastructure. So this is the traditional scenario you will get into the industry. So now we need to understand here why people are moving towards cloud platform, because everyone is talking on cloud, right? Everyone is moving towards cloud. We need to understand like why cloud. So when you deal with the on-premises data center, each and every component we need to manage. Okay, let me open the PPT quickly. Let's understand what is the challenges. Okay, when you deal with the physical data center. Okay, so this is the main differences. Okay, and when you deal with the on-premises data center, Into the on-premises data center, we'll have multiple components. We have networking, we have storage, we have servers, we have virtualization, we have operating system, we have middleware, we have runtime, we have databases, we have application, and we have multiple teams, okay, to manage the particular stack. Network team is managing the network, storage team is managing the storages, right? Your server team is managing the server, your virtualization team is, VMware team is managing the VMware. Then we have Windows team, Linux team, they're managing the Windows boxes and Linux boxes. So what I wanted to highlight here, when you deal with the physical data center, when you deal with the physical infrastructure, we'll have multiple teams, and with the help of multiple teams we are managing our infrastructure. But the moment you deal with the cloud platform, any cloud, it can be Azure, AWS cloud, so they are offering three core services: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So let's understand first infrastructure as a service. What is infrastructure as a service and how it works? So what Microsoft is saying, if you take the example of Microsoft Azure, or if you take the example of Amazon AWS, what they are saying, yes, we are going to provide a complete hardware stack, okay, and which is required to deploy the virtual machine. So into the hardware, they are providing networking, they are providing storages, they are providing servers, and they are providing the virtualization layer. And top of that, we are going to deploy our virtual machine with the operating system. So no need to manage your hardware stack when you deal with the cloud platform. If anything goes wrong from the network, from the storage, from the servers, from the virtualization, your hardware, your cloud vendor will take care. So your cloud vendor will be responsible to troubleshoot the issue if anything goes wrong from the backend. So as a customer, we are going to deploy virtual machine with the required OS. It can be a Windows OS, it can be a Linux OS, and top of that, we are going to deploy our application and database as per the business requirement, as per the my business requirement, or so into the infrastructure, your hardware part completely managed by Microsoft, and into the operating system, your application, your database completely managed by our team only. So this is the infrastructure as a service, and we are talking on infrastructure as a service first into the first scenario. So everything is running good into the on premises, and suddenly my management is asking to deploy here, let's see, 500 virtual machine. This is the requirement from the management. What management is saying, no, we need a 500 virtual machines here to start the new project. So what we need to do, if you wanted to deploy 500 virtual machines, then we need a storages, we need a servers, we need a ESXi licenses, right? We need a compute. Without compute, you will not able to deploy virtual machines, right? If you deploy 500 virtual machines into a same infrastructure, then it will impact on your existing infrastructure, right? We need a network switches, we need a firewall, everything we would require here, right? Also, if you plan to purchase the physical hardware, it will take time, right? It will take around 3-4 months to deliver each and every component to your data center. So what people are doing now, people are extending their data center into the cloud platform. Okay, so they are extending the data center into the cloud platform. See, this is the cloud, and let's take up example of Microsoft Azure only. So this is Azure platform. This is Azure platform. The particular Azure people are using, okay, to enhance or to extend their data center. So what is data center extension? Data center extension is nothing but some services are running into the on-premises data center, and some services are running into the Azure infrastructure. So we can deploy here servers. What is the requirement here? I need here 500 servers. Yes, so 500 servers needs, we can deploy here anytime. So no need to purchase any hardware, no need to purchase any licenses. Okay, so within a hour, within a 2 hour, within a 3 hour, you can set up the complete infrastructure, okay, and you can start your production here. So no need to wait here, okay, because Microsoft is offering here infrastructure as a service, and with the help of infrastructure as a service, we can deploy the virtual machines. So under the virtual machine, Microsoft is offering networking, storage, servers, and virtualization. And top up of that, we are going to deploy our virtual machine. Top of our virtual machine, we are going to deploy applications as well. Application, we are going to deploy databases as per the business requirement here. Any question here? Any question? Any doubt till? Mahesh, any question?
No, not complete.
Okay,
Yeah,
Raju,
no,
any?
I have one.
Yeah.
No, all good.
hello. Yeah,
Yogesh,
Anand.
can
Yeah,
you hear
Anurag.
me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, actually, when we say infrastructure as a service, so we only get the virtual machines from the cloud, right? And nothing else.
So
Like
yes,
they
we need to deploy.
empty
Yeah, we need
shell.
to deploy VMs. Yes, we need to deploy VMs. We will
Yeah,
see. We will not
OS.
get a ready-made virtual machine. We need to deploy as per the required configuration.
Okay, and the timeline to how long we are going to use, or what will be the cost, and these things should we provide it in the start, or as we use as much as we use, we have to pay like this.
Yes, yes. This is the concept here. Pay as you go concept. So what is the pay as you go concept? As per the consumption, you need to pay the bill. Okay,
Okay.
if you use a particular virtual machine for 1 month, then you need to pay for 1 month. If you use virtual machine for 1 year, you need to pay for 1 year. Okay, so
And it's
costing
yeah,
part
it's
and
SSL also.
yes, your costing part and cost optimization we will discuss, okay, into the next sessions, like how we need to calculate the cost. Okay, so first
Okay,
you need to
but that is
understand the
fine.
concept.
My question was only for this timeline, means in advance we have to tell like we need it for a year or two, or like as we need,
No,
as we use, we can pay.
no, not required, not required. Like you can compare with
Okay,
the electricity, right? So
okay,
you see, as a you are going to switch on multiple devices, right? You are going to power on your AC or cooler or fridge, right? So
yeah,
as per
yeah,
the consumption you're paying, with the same way as per
yeah.
the resource consumption you need to pay into the Azure, okay, in AWS, in Google
Okay.
as well. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Got
any
it.
question till?
Good.
Yeah, Anand. Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
Rajesh.
is Rajesh. Yeah, yeah. Just you just mentioned that some data center, existing data center has been extended into the that Azure data center. Some of the service are in existing data centers, and some of the service are extended into the Azure data center. So, just
Right.
could you please provide more information in that? Means just some outline.
Yeah, we are going to discuss, so yeah, into a very in depth. So this is
Okay.
only the first scenario. Yeah, first case study we are going to understand, like why people are moving towards cloud, what is the benefit you will get. Okay, we will discuss the data centers, we will discuss the locations, okay, which Microsoft is offering here into the data centers. Okay,
So you are
so
going to cover into the depth in the next topic.
yes,
Okay.
we are going to
Yeah.
cover.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No question.
Okay, so this is the on-premises data center and this is the Azure data center, and into the Azure data center we are going to deploy our infrastructure. Okay, so cloud is nothing but it's a physical data center only. So Microsoft is offering here multiple data center across the globe. Okay, let's go into the documentation now. Azure locations. Okay, first let's understand the locations now. See, Microsoft is offering multiple data centers across the globe, and let's take an example of India. So in India, Microsoft having three data centers: Central India, South India, and South Central India. So Central India data center is located in Pune, and the particular data center is started in 2015. Second data center, which is located into the Chennai, and the second data center also started in 2015 only, and third data center coming soon, okay, into the Hyderabad. So this is the physical data center, okay, where Microsoft is offering all the services. So which services I'm talking? I'm talking on three services, core services: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. We will discuss into very in depth, like which service comes under infra, which service comes under, which feature comes under platform, and which features comes under software as a service. Okay, so all three core services Microsoft is offering from all the data centers, and we need to select the data center as per the business requirement. So for example, okay, it's a very simple example. If you are from SBI, if you are from LIC, if you are from uh, let's see HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, and if you wanted to deploy infrastructure on cloud, then as per the rules and as per the audits compliance, you need to deploy infrastructure within the India only. And that's why Microsoft has deployed here 3 data centers into India. So Amazon also deployed multiple data centers in India. Google also has deployed multiple data centers in India. Okay, so as per the compliance, we need to deploy infrastructure within the India only. Okay, as per the governance. If your business is allowing to deploy infrastructure out of India, then we can. Okay, if you ask, sir, can we deploy infrastructure in US region? Because into the US, Microsoft is offering multiple data center. Let's go into the United States. See, into the US region, Microsoft having multiple data centers: Central US, East US, East US 2, East US 3. Then North Central US data center, they have started in 2009. South Central US, see, 2008 they have started. West Central US, West US. So they have multiple data center across the globe, okay, which Microsoft is offering here. And from the data center, they're offering all the services. They're offering virtual machines, firewall, load balancers, storages, blockchain, Azure Kubernetes services, VDI service, VMware services. So multiple services, around 300 plus services Microsoft is offering, okay, into the Azure cloud. And those services we need to use as per the, again, business requirement and as per the budget as well. Let's go into the diagram. So into the first scenario, we have discussed like how we can use the Azure infrastructure, okay, and how we can extend the data center. So data center extension is nothing but some services are running on on-premises data center, and some services are running into the Azure infrastructure. And my on-premises data center and Azure infrastructure is getting connected via network. So there are multiple ways to connect the data centers, multiple ways. So first service will be a site-to-site VPN. Second service will be a SD-WAN. And third service will be a Azure Express route. Okay, so there are multiple services, okay, available into the industry. We can use those services and we can connect multiple data center. Okay, so into our scenario, we have only 2 data centers. We have Azure data center and we have on-premises data center. So 2 infrastructures we can connect using a site-to-site VPN, using a SD-WAN, and using a Azure Express route. So as per the budget, we need to use the service. So if you are saying, sir, I do not have budget, then in that scenario, we need to use site-to-site VPN. It's a very cost effective service. Then you can use the SD-WAN. If you have budget, then you can use the SD-WAN. Okay, and Azure Express route will be the very cost expensive. Okay, but I have seen 90% people are using here Azure Express route only, because Azure Express route is nothing but it's a dedicated connectivity from your infrastructure to Azure infrastructure. So this is the connectivity part. And once connectivity established between on-premises data center and Microsoft Azure, then all infrastructure can communicate with each other with the local IP addresses. Azure servers will communicate with the on-premises server with the local IP, and on-premises server will communicate with the Azure infrastructure with the local IP addresses. So physically you have 2 data centers, but logically it's a single network, or we can say it's a single infrastructure, but physically your physical data center is located into your location and Azure data center is located into a different location. Any question till? This is the first scenario.
Yogesh, just can you explain what is that SD-WAN and site-to-site? Just a brief, not
Yeah.
in depth.
So, yeah. SD-WAN. Yeah, SD-WAN is nothing but it's a software-defined network, software-defined WANs. Okay. So I'm not sure you're aware or not. So into the older days, okay, there is a concept of MPLS. Any idea MPLS?
Yeah. I know that. Yeah.
Okay. So now all MPLS networks replaced by SD-WAN. ओके सो जितने भी MPLS नेटवर्क्स थे वो सारे SD-WAN ने रिप्लेस करवा दिए. Why? Because the huge difference, okay, into a costing. So MPLS was
Right.
very costly compared to SD-WAN. So your site-to-site VPN is the very cost effective solution to connect the multiple infrastructure, to connect the multiple data centers. And the moment you deal with the site-to-site VPN, what we need here, we need a firewalls. We need a firewall into the both side, and then you can establish the connectivity between multiple data centers. Then there is a concept of SD-WAN. Okay, SD-WAN, see your site-to-site VPN works on internet and SD-WAN also works on internet, but when you deal with the SD-WAN, you will get the good performance, okay, compared to site-to-site VPN. Okay, because SD-WAN is offering some network enhancement functionality. So there are multiple vendors, they are offering the SD-WAN service, like Cisco is offering Cisco Viptela. Cisco is the company, Viptela is the product. Okay, they are offering their SD-WANs. So if your budget, then definitely you need to go ahead with the Azure Express route. It's a dedicated connectivity. So Azure Express route you can compare with the MPLS. So this is the MPLS only. Okay, this is the dedicated connectivity.
Yogesh,
Yeah.
the site-to-site VPN and the Azure Express Route both are from Azure. Okay, but this SD-WAN does we don't have any services from Azure like SD-WAN, isn't it? So
No.
what
See, into
component
the
we need
SD-WAN,
for that SD-WAN to get this working?
no, SD-WAN. See, SD-WAN is a very common concept. Okay, it's a common service. But if you wanted to go ahead with the Azure service, then Microsoft is also offering the SD-WAN, which
नहीं,
is
I mean to say मेरा कहने का मतलब ये है कि आपका existing data center को अगर आपके public cloud Azure से अगर आपको connect करना है तो आपके पास site to site VPN deploy करने के लिए VPN gateway है ना? यानी Microsoft की तरफ से जो product है VPN gateway है, VPN gateway आप configure करेंगे आपके Azure site पे, तो that will help you to get that site to site VPN. Okay, आपके पास में एक्सप्रेस राउट है Azure से, वो आपको हेल्प करेगा आपको कॉन्फ़िगरेशन करने के लिए आपके प्राइवेट और पब्लिक डेटा सेंटर. बट ऐसी कोई सर्विसेज नहीं है जिसको SD-WAN बोला है Azure ने कि ये प्रोडक्ट है Azure का, इसको अगर आप यूज करोगे तो दैट विल हेल्प यू टू गेट दैट SD-WAN कॉन्फ़िगर्ड. सो आई मीन टू से कि ऐसा कुछ है. ओके
ऐसा है. यस, ऐसा है. इट्स अ न्यू
वो
सर्विस.
मुझे नहीं पता.
हाँ. Yes. It's a new service. Okay. So Microsoft is also offering. So Microsoft is not saying SD-WAN. Microsoft is saying here virtual WAN. Okay.
Virtual WAN. Okay.
Yes, virtual WAN. So it's a SD-WAN concept only. Okay. So if you wanted to use Microsoft functionality or Microsoft services, then virtual WAN needs to be configured. If you wanted to use third-party product, then Cisco product we can use. Okay, to achieve the SD-WAN.
सो सिस्को प्रोडक्ट अगर यूज करना है Azure के साथ में, तो मेरे प्राइवेट डेटा सेंटर में तो मैं यूज कर सकता हूँ, ठीक है. आई कैन हैव दैट सिस्को प्रोडक्ट एंड आई कैन हैव दैट SD-WAN कॉन्फ़िगर्ड. बट व्हेन आई कम टू दैट Azure, तो फिर मुझे कोई अप्लायंस डालना पड़ेगा सिस्को का SD-WAN कॉन्फ़िगर करने के लिए.
Yes, there is
so instead of using that VPN gateway जो मैं अप्लायंस डिप्लॉय कर रहा हूँ Azure में, उसके जगह मुझे सिस्को का दैट मींस मार्केट प्लेस से सिस्को का वो अप्लायंस डालना पड़ेगा, जो मुझे हेल्प करेगा SD-WAN कॉन्फ़िगर करने के लिए फ्रॉम एग्जिस्टिंग डेटा सेंटर टू द Azure पब्लिक क्लाउड. Is this correct
Yes,
understanding?
yes, correct. Yeah, correct. Let me demonstrate one diagram. So this is the actual diagram. Huh? This is the actual diagram. Okay, I have designed for my one of the customer. Okay, I have removed name and everything. Okay. Okay. So can you see here? Can you see
No,
the
your
appliance?
screen is not shared. That means, oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's visible. Yeah.
Yeah. See, so इंटरनेट से जो भी ट्रैफिक आ रहा है वो आपका फायरवॉल पे जा रहा है और जो इंटरनल ट्रैफिक है इंटरनल डेटा सेंटर्स आर गेटिंग कनेक्टेड इनटू अ सिस्को क्लाउड ओके सिस्को एसडी वैन क्लाउड ओके
Mhm.
सो ऐसे आपको एक अप्लायंस डिप्लॉय करना पड़ेगा ओके इनटू योर अज्योर
Azure.
इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर यस
Mhm.
and the particular appliance will communicate with the your on premises data center using a cisco sd-wan okay so
Okay.
specially
So
yeah
मेरे एग्जिस्टिंग डेटा सेंटर में भी एक अप्लायंस होगा और Azure
हाँ
में भी एक अप्लायंस होगा और उन
yes
दोनों के बीच में पेयरिंग होगी. That would be called as an SD-WAN. But just
SD-WAN. Yes.
in broader concept, if I say, तो वो उन दोनों के बीच में एक पेयरिंग होगा और पेयरिंग that pairing is being called as an SD-WAN in
Perfect.
layman words.
Yes. 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 Okay. So this is the functionality. Okay. This is the scenario into the industry people are using. People are extending their data center over the cloud. It can be Azure. It can be a AWS. It can be a Google. And into the first step, we can use the infrastructure as a services. Okay. Let's understand the second scenario now. Why people are moving towards cloud platform. So same data center into the second case study, we have same data center. Okay, same data center. And now into the second scenario, management is asking to migrate the infrastructure on Azure platform. What is the second scenario? Second scenario is the migration scenario. So why migration is required? Let's understand. So there are multiple case studies, okay, where people are migrating the infrastructure from on-premises to Azure. So first scenario, into the IT world, okay, everyone is replacing the hardware every 3 year or every 5 year, right? Storages, physical boxes, licenses you need to renew. Then network devices, firewall devices, you are replacing, right? Every 3 year or every 5 year as per the commitment with the business, right? So instead of that, now people are moving towards cloud platform. Now people are migrating the infrastructure on cloud platform. Why? Because into the cloud platform, no need to replace the hardware. Means Microsoft is replacing the hardware, right? Microsoft is replacing the hardware. Microsoft is managing the physical hardware. As a customer, sorry, as a customer, we are not going to manage any hardware, physical infrastructure. Okay, so that's why people are migrating the infrastructure from on-premises to Azure. First scenario. Into the second scenario, let's take a example. Like I have seen multiple people are using here rented infrastructure, right? Your infrastructure is running into the some different data center, okay, which is owned by or hosted by different company. So if you wanted to remove the dependency from that company, then also people are migrating the infrastructure from on-premises to Microsoft Azure. So under the migrations, again, we can do the multiple type of migrations. Okay, server migration, VDI migration, application migration, then website migration. Okay, data migration, database migration, and all the tasks we can perform by using Azure migrate service. So Azure migrate service, okay, Microsoft is offering. It's a native service, okay, from Microsoft, and we can do the migration. We can do the server migration, VDI migration, application migration, website migration, data migration, database migration from on-premises to Azure. There are different services as well, third-party services. Let's spin. Okay, I have used Let's spin as well. device 24, double take. So there are multiple tools available into the market, okay, which we can use. We can purchase the licenses and we can do the migration. So Azure Migrate service is a free tool, okay. It's a native service from Microsoft, which is very good tool, okay. And we can use that tool and we can do the migration. So this is the second scenario where people are using a cloud platform. Now let's understand the third scenario, third case study. So why people are using a cloud, or in which scenario people are using a cloud platform. Into the third scenario, this is the startup business. This is the new company, okay. ABC company, okay. Let's consider this is ABC company, and the particular company is not from IT background. It's a manufacturing company, but still they required billing application, they required websites, they required file servers, they required Active Directory, okay, for the users groups, okay. And particular company doesn't have any physical location to build up the data center. So what ABC company can do now, ABC company can deploy the infrastructure into a cloud platform, okay. ABC company can deploy the infrastructure on cloud platform, and the particular infrastructure deployment comes under greenfield deployment. Greenfield deployment means is nothing but it's a fresh deployment, okay. Into the first scenario we have discussed extension of the data center. So this is also greenfield deployment, this is also fresh deployment, okay. Into the second scenario we have discussed the migration from on premises to Microsoft Azure. So in a technical term we need to call as a lift and shift, okay, or as is migration. So just we are changing the infrastructure, okay. In some scenarios we need to call as a rehosting as well. Rehosting, as is migration, or lift and shift, it's remain same, okay. And into the third scenario, greenfield deployment means it's a new company and the particular company is going to deploy infrastructure on cloud platform. So they are going to deploy firewalls, they are going to deploy applications, file servers, Active Directory, Office 365 products, if required then VDI products as well. So as per the business requirement they are going to deploy infrastructure into the cloud platform. Any question till?
योगेश मुझे एक चीज पूछना था, लास्ट फर्स्ट वाला जो स्क्रीन था जिसमें आपने एक्सप्रेस राउट बोला था,
हाँ
उसमें आपने बोला था कि जैसे साइट टू साइट वीपीएन के लिए आपको वर्चुअल दैट मींस वीपीएन गेटवे आपको डालना पड़ेगा, तो अज्यूर एक्सप्रेस राउट से आपको कनेक्टिविटी करने के लिए क्या डालना पड़ेगा?
तो अज्यूर एक्सप्रेस राउट के लिए भी आपको वीपीएन गेटवे ही चाहिए. यहाँ पे वीपीएन गेटवे इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर मल्टीपल सर्विसेज.
So whether you go for site to site VPN, point to site VPN, VPN gateway is required. Whether you go for the express route, VPN gateway is required.
Yes. Gateway is the service, and gateway is offering
only the way you connect from that existing data center to Azure is the difference. If you're coming over internet, it would be site to site VPN. If you're coming by Azure Express, that means a private internet line, then it would be in express route.
Yes.
Even the cost difference is there.
The cost तो रहेगा ही difference. Cost in terms of technicality, backend में हमारे पास में virtual, that means वो gateway ही रहेगा. That means whatever we deploy, it would be in gateway only.
Right.
Yes. Gateway is the service, and gateway is offering VPN functionality. So VPN, see, the moment you talk on a VPN traffic comes under IPsec traffic. इसको हम बोलते हैं टेक्निकल टर्म में IPsec traffic, okay, and it supports express route traffic as well. Express route is nothing but it's a dedicated traffic, okay, it's a dedicated link between your data center and Azure data center.
But अब जब express route
let's go one by one.
Yeah, please. Mahesh,
no issues. So site to site also will have the same setup. Like as you told, we will be requiring a physical firewalls, we'll be requiring the physical connections for that. So that remain the same. And in that also we need to deploy the Azure Express route as well, correct?
See, site-to-site VPN required third-party firewalls. Also, site-to-site VPN we can configure with the gateway. So the particular concept we will discuss into very in depth during the networking. Okay, so don't confuse. Okay, so just
Okay.
I wanted to I wanted to highlight here, like there are three services. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
to connect on-premises data center with the cloud platform. Okay, so you
Okay.
can use the site VPN, you can use the SD-WAN, you can use the Azure Express route as per your business requirement and as per your budget. Okay, अगर आपका budget ही
Okay.
नहीं है, then let's go with the site-to-site VPN. Okay, if your
Okay.
budget, then you can plan for SD-WAN, you can plan for Azure Express route as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go into the next point. Into the next point, we need to understand the platform as a service here. What is platform as a service? So into the platform as a service, what Microsoft is saying, the complete infrastructure and complete platform managed by Microsoft. Okay, so if you compare infrastructure as a service and platform as a service, into the infrastructure as a service, only infrastructure managed by Microsoft, your operating system. Okay, operating system is very important because top of operating system, you are going to deploy application. It can be application, it can be a database, right? It can be a ERP application, SAP application, right? So your Windows team is taking care of your Windows operating system. Linux team is taking care of your Linux operating system, right? But into the past, what Microsoft is saying, your operating system also managed by Microsoft only. Okay, so your operating system performance, security, encryption, then HA, everything managed by Microsoft. Okay, the moment you deal with the PaaS services. So I can give here multiple examples. For example, Azure Firewall Service comes under PaaS. Azure Load Balancer comes under PaaS. Azure SQL Service comes under PaaS. Okay, Azure Kubernetes Services, which is very demanding service nowadays. Okay, which is comes under PaaS. So multiple PaaS services Microsoft is offering. Azure Web App, serverless website. So in a traditional scenario, if I ask you to deploy one website, what you will do? You will deploy one virtual machine on top of VMware platform or Hyper-V platform. On top of a virtual machine, you will deploy one operating system. It can be a Windows, it can be Linux. On top of OS, you will deploy web server, like it can be IIS or Apache Tomcat. And then your development team will develop the website and you will publish your website. So into the PaaS services, no need to deploy any operating system and no need to deploy any OS, no need to manage any OS, because main uh, concept here is your operating system completely managed by Microsoft. So if you deal with the physical data center, let's go into our scenario. And now I have here 1,500 virtual machines. Okay, so as a infrastructure admin, what you need to do? Okay, you need to manage 1,500 VMs, right? Not only virtual machines, you need to manage. Not only virtual machines you need to manage, you need to manage backups, right? You need to manage HA, right? You need to manage performance, you need to manage security, you need to manage antivirus from all 1,500 servers, right? So everything you need to do the moment you say like you are using or you are managing your virtual machines. So by using a PaaS services, Microsoft is going to manage the complete infrastructure for us, and we are going to focus on our only SQL or database or our core service. The complete infrastructure managed by Microsoft here under the platform as a service. Any question here into the PaaS?
So
Question?
OS patching, licensing, all the things are managed by Azure.
Yes. Patching is a main task, right, into the industry now. So patching also completely managed by Microsoft here. Okay, so then we have next service, which is SaaS, software as a service. So into the software as a service complete stack managed by Microsoft. So good example, Office 365. Office 365 M360. Now Microsoft has changed the name, okay, from Office 365 to M365. OneDrive, Microsoft Dynamics, Intune, okay, Skype, all products comes under software as a service. So no need to deploy any server, no need to deploy any hardware. As a customer, just we need to purchase the licenses. We need to create a users groups, okay, passwords, policies, okay. We need to define the best practices, and then we can use the particular application. So only our data we need to manage, okay. Then other tasks, other applications, servers, everything managed by Microsoft. So Office 365 is a good example, okay, which is comes under SaaS product, software as a service. Any question till?
Yeah, hello. Yeah, suppose let's take an example that we need to hosting one website. So in platform as a service, that OS is taken care by the Microsoft. So what will be our duty to hosting a website in platform as a SaaS? Do we need to my question is that means वेबसाइट अपने को डेवलप करनी पड़ेगी कि यानी इन्वर्टर ओएस वो प्रोवाइड करेंगे और
Yeah. So website developed by your development team, okay. As a
Okay.
Azure admin, yeah, as a Azure admin, you need to deploy a web app service. You need to manage web app service, and
Okay.
into the PaaS service, there is no role from the Windows admin and Linux admin, to be frank.
Okay.
Okay, यहाँ पे Windows admin और Linux admin का कोई रोल नहीं है, okay.
That only
As a-
application admins.
Exactly. Application admin, Azure architect, okay, development team. And if you are clubbing with the multiple services, like I have seen people are using web app service with Docker and containers. So then you need a expertise, okay, from the Docker and Kubernetes as well, okay.
Okay.
But Windows admin and Linux admins are not required at all here, okay, into the PaaS service. So maximum people are moving towards cloud platform with the PaaS services only, because they don't want to do any Windows management and Linux management nowadays, okay. They wanted to focus on their core service, okay.
Core service, right.
The core service can be a deploy under web app, core service can be a deploy under the containerization, okay, like Docker and Kubernetes.
Okay, got it.
So फिर वो लोग तो आपका Kubernetes भी मैनेज नहीं करेंगे ना? Why do they need to do that? Platform as a service भी मिल जाएगा. Hello.
Yes.
So अगर मान लीजिए एज अ पास सर्विस अगर कोई कस्टमर जा रहा है और उसे अगर मान लो वेबसाइट अगर आपको कंटेनर्स में आपको डालनी है, सो
Right.
ये कुबरनेटिस वाला इंफ्रा कौन हैंडल करेगा? दैट मींस क्लाइंट हैंडल
Admin.
करेगा या
No.
एडमिन हैंडल करेगा? हाँ.
See, देखो, Kubernetes का infrastructure into scenario your client also can handle and your team also can handle. The main thing here is expertise. Okay, अगर आपके पास expertise है, then you can handle it, right?
तो फिर तो वो इंफ्रा हैंडल करने वाली बात आई गई ना उसमें भी.
Agree. But when you compare your traditional infrastructure with the Docker and Kubernetes, your footprints are very less. Okay, जो हमने यहाँ पे डिस्कस किया, okay, let's go here. यहाँ पे हमने क्या डिस्कस किया कि you have 1500 virtual machines, okay. So you are also from VMware background, I am also from VMware background, right? So out of 1500 virtual machines, let's do the segregation. आपके पास let's say 1000 virtual machines है जो Linux based है, and you have let's say 500 virtual machines from Windows side, okay. Till clear, Surendra? Okay, now when you deal with the containerization, okay, so container or your Kubernetes and Docker is the next level of virtualization. Into the virtualization we are doing server virtualization, right? We are doing the
Mhm.
server virtualization, like multiple servers we can deploy on a hardware, single hardware, right? Where we can optimize the cost of physical hardware. But the moment you deal with the container, we can optimize the cost of operating systems. So this is the OS virtualization, operating system virtualization. Okay, so if you need here 1,000 virtual machines, 1,000 Linux servers to deploy 1,000 applications, so might be you require here 500 virtual machines, 500 Linux server, okay, to run multiple applications.
In a
Okay,
Kubernetes cluster.
yeah, in a Kubernetes cluster, exactly. Yes, yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes. सो जहां पे आपको 1,000 सर्वर लिनक्स सर्वर मैनेज करने के लिए आपको 50 लोगों का टीम चाहिए, यू नीड अ 50 पीपल टीम हियर, ओके, टू मैनेज द लिनक्स इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. तो अगर आपके पास यहाँ पे 500 सर्वर्स हो गए तो वो आपको 20 लोग ही लगेंगे यहाँ पे, राइट?
हम्म। नहीं बट
तो
इसमें अगर मान लो आपको आपको 1000 की जगह अगर 500 लग रहा है, मान लो आपका 1000 में से एक मशीन को रिबूट किया तो एक ही एप्लीकेशन हैम्पर हो रहा है, मान लो इसमें से मैंने अगर एक मशीन को रिबूट किया तो इसमें मेरा एप्लीकेशन हैम्परिंग ज्यादा होगा ना?
ना ना ना, देयर आर मल्टीपल फीचर्स
वो
डॉकर एंड
दूसरे वाले नोड पे चले जाएगा, दूसरे वाले नोड
नहीं
पे
चले
क्लस्टर
नहीं जाएगा,
क्लस्टर
नहीं 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 चले नहीं
मूव हो
जाएगा,
जाएगा।
वो ऑलरेडी चल रहा है.
हाँ हाँ, दो दो
देयर आर मल्टीपल
पॉड्स
रेप्लिका.
में चल रहा है, पॉड्स में
यस
चल
यस
रहा है वो।
yes, there are multiple replicas.
रेप्लिका
Yes,
पॉड्स में चल रहा है।
yes. तो
सेकंड
into
वाला
the
इंस्टेंस एक्टिव हो जाएगा।
नहीं, एक्टिव ही रहेगा, ऑलरेडी एक्टिव
हम्म,
रहेगा. ओके, वी विल नॉट डिस्कस इनटू इन डेप्थ हियर टुडे, बट
हाँ हाँ ठीक है।
इज ऑलरेडी लाइव. ओके, सो ऐसे नहीं होगा कि एक सर्वर एक आपका होस्ट डाउन हो गया तो इम्पैक्ट आएगा, नहीं, आपके सारे यूजर लोगों का रिक्वेस्ट दूसरे बॉक्स पे जाएगा without any impacting the application here. Okay, so don't
ओके
compare with the VMware. Now VMware having some limitations. Okay, so VMware is not saying ki like we are giving 100% uptime. What VMware is saying, we have minimized the downtime. Okay, if you deal with the VMware HA feature. Okay, जब आपका एक ESX का बॉक्स डाउन होता है तो वो वर्चुअल मशीन दूसरे बॉक्स पे मूव होने के लिए एक रिबूट चाहिए, राइट?
रिबूट होती है हाँ।
हाँ, सो VMware ने कभी ऐसा नहीं बोला कि हमने 100% अप टाइम दे रहे. वी हैव मिनिमाइज द डाउन टाइम. जो फिजिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में एक सर्वर डाउन होने के बाद 5 घंटा डाउन होता था, तो VMware इज सेइंग नो, हियर वी नीड ओनली 10 मिनट्स डाउन टाइम, ओके, टू रिबूट द वर्चुअल मशीन. But what Docker and Kubernetes is saying, downtime at all not required. 0% downtime. Okay, so this is the main comparison between products and technology.
ओके सो हम लोग इसमें डिप्लॉयमेंट इसका भी देखेंगे ना, डॉकर्स का भी देखेंगे ना कि डॉकर्स कैसे डिप्लॉय करते हैं हम लोग।
Yes, we are going to do.
ओके
Yes.
ओके थैंक यू डन।
तो पास में that SaaS services, software as a service में, so do we need to inform to the Azure people then like what we are going to deploy onto it? Our requirements needs to be fulfilled to them, or like how it will be work then?
No. Into, see, what we need to do, Mahesh, into the production. See, during the initial phase, first we need to understand the customer infrastructure and we need to design the solution. Okay, अगर customer के पास सारे SQL server, all the SQL servers are running on Windows platform, so you can give the solution. Like, don't use the infrastructure as a service. We will move all the infrastructure as a service databases into the PaaS service. Okay, so first you need to understand the current infrastructure, okay, which is running into the client's data center.
Okay.
Okay, and then you need to design the solution.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go into the PPT now. So this is only one PPT I am using into the complete course. Okay, I'm not using a PPT. Okay. So this is the infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service we have discussed. Then we need to understand the deployment models. Okay, so into the cloud platform we have 3 type of deployments. Okay, we have public cloud, we have private cloud, and we have hybrid cloud. So public cloud is nothing but publicly available. So Microsoft Azure is a public cloud, AWS is a public cloud, Google is a public cloud. So we need to understand here what is public cloud. So your Gmail also public cloud. So there is no restrictions, right? Anyone can create an account on gmail.com. Anyone can create an account on outlook.com. So this is also comes under public cloud. Okay. So public cloud is nothing but anyone can create a account on Azure platform and anyone can deploy the infrastructure. So let's take a scenario example. I needed two Windows machines, okay, to do some testing. I wanted to perform some testing from the application side. So into the traditional scenario, what I need a one physical server. Top up of that, I will do the virtualization, and top up of virtualization, I will create two virtual machines, right? And then we can do the R&D, right? But into the second scenario, I do not have any physical hardware. What I can do now, I can create an account on Microsoft portal. I can deploy two virtual machines. I can do the testing. I can install the application. Then I'll do the testing. And once testing is completed, I can delete the complete infrastructure. So public cloud is nothing but anyone can create an account on their portal. Anyone can deploy the infrastructure, and we need to pay as per the consumption. So there is a concept of pay as you go. What is the concept here into the IT industry under the cloud? Pay as you go. So pay as you go is nothing but as per the consumption we need to pay. Okay. So if you deploy two virtual machines and two virtual machines you used for let's say 10 hours, so you need to pay for 10 hours. Okay, we will discuss in depth into the next sessions like how to calculate the cost. Okay, let's go into the next point. Private cloud. So private cloud is nothing but your private data center. ये आपका private cloud है, and the particular private cloud is for the dedicated company. So let's take an example, your data center, and the particular data center is deployed for the particular company only. The same data center is not shared with the public, right? It's a private data center. And last one is your hybrid cloud. So this is the concept of hybrid cloud. Means some infrastructure is running into the on-premises, some infrastructure is running into the Azure infrastructure. This is the hybrid infrastructure. I have seen people are using multiple clouds with on-premises data center. Mission critical application they are keeping into on-premises, development, quality, or other infrastructures they are going to deploy into the Azure and AWS as well. So at a time they are using multiple clouds along with the on-prem data center. Let's go into PPT. Okay, so important slides we have covered, and now let's go into the very basics like how Microsoft works when you create an account on Microsoft portal. So what we discuss, Microsoft Azure is a public cloud, right? Your Gmail also public cloud, your Outlook also public cloud, right? Anyone can create an account on their portal. Anyone can create an account on their websites, and anyone can use it, the particular services, Google Drive, right? Then Google Meet, emails, all the features we can use it as per the licenses or as per the functionality. So what we need to do now, we need to understand how Microsoft Azure works. Okay, how Microsoft Azure works when you create an account on Microsoft portal. जब आप Microsoft के वेबसाइट पे जाके आपका अकाउंट क्रिएट करते हो तो बैकएंड में क्या होता है, दैट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. इट इज वेरी important, okay, to clear the interview and to design the infrastructure as well. So first we need to understand what is the prerequisites to create an account on Microsoft portal. Okay, so we need to create an account, right, on Microsoft portal. Let me demonstrate first and then you will get the idea. So this is the portal, okay, and let me sign out. This is the website. Okay. Okay. So this is the website, https://portal.azure.com. So this is the Microsoft portal. And the moment you hit on a particular link, okay, like you're using gmail.com, right? Yahoo.com. With the same way, there is a portal, there is a website from Microsoft, which is portal.azure.com. And you need to provide your user ID and password. So already I have created my account on Microsoft portal, and already I have registered using my Outlook ID. So when you deal with the Azure infrastructure, and if you wanted to create an account on Microsoft portal, what we need to do, we need to use our ID. So it can be a personal ID or it can be a company ID. My recommendation here is to use the personal ID only. Into my scenario, I'm using my email account, and my email account is cloudtechnopune@outlook.com. Okay, this is the email account I have, cloudtechnopune@outlook.com. You can use Gmail account, you can use Yahoo account, so any domain you can use it. But recommendation here is let's use the Outlook only. Why? Because Outlook is a Microsoft product, and Azure also Microsoft product. Okay. So I have seen multiple issues into the Gmail ID. Okay, when you register your account on Azure portal using a Gmail ID, Gmail email account, there are multiple issues I have seen. So recommendation here is to use the Outlook account only. And let's create a fresh account. Okay, fresh email account, and you can register into a Azure portal. So first requirement here is to provide the email account. So email account is very, very important. Then second requirement here is we need a credit card details. We need a credit card details here. So why we need a credit card details? We need a credit card details for the verification purpose. So first month you are going to use free subscription. Okay, first month you are going to use free subscription where Microsoft will not deduct a single rupees from your credit card. So credit card detail is required for only the verification purpose. Initially only Microsoft is going to deduct 2 rupees from your account, from your credit card. Now after 2-3 days again 2 rupees are getting credited under your credit card. Third requirement, mobile number. Mobile number. Okay. So three requirements, okay, three prerequisites to create an account on Microsoft portal. Into my scenario, this is my email account, cloudtechnopune@outlook.onmicrosoft.com. Asking the password. This is the password. Okay, and let's go into the service. So this is the console, okay, of Microsoft Azure, and let's go into the all services. And now let's understand the services which Microsoft is offering here. See, under the compute, Microsoft is offering here 25 services. Okay. So see, virtual machine comes under compute service. Okay, virtual machine classic. This is the older version of the virtual machine. Scale sets, app services, okay, comes under compute. Then under the networking, Microsoft is offering 34 services: virtual networks, load balancers, network interfaces, public IP prefixes, okay, virtual WAN. See, this is the service. This is the SD-WAN service from Microsoft. Can you see here virtual WAN?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the service. Okay. So under the networking, Microsoft is offering 34 services. It's very, very important. So networking is a very important part. Okay. When you do the designing, when you do the migration, okay, and when you act as a architect, solution architect, then networking comes in the picture. Okay. So networking is a very important now. Then under the storage, Microsoft is offering 15 services. Under the web, Microsoft is offering 16 services. Under the mobile, 3 services. Then containers is a very, very demanding now. Containers instances, container registries, we can keep here all the images. then Kubernetes services. Okay, then there is a one more product is very demanding now, Azure Red Hat OpenShift. So OpenShift is a product, Red Hat is a company, and now Microsoft is offering on Azure platform, which is comes under PaaS. No need to deploy any server, just you need to deploy service in the backend. Automatically Microsoft will deploy the OpenShift cluster. With the same way with the Kubernetes as well, you need to deploy Kubernetes service in the backend. Microsoft will deploy the Docker cluster with the Kubernetes option. Then database services, 21 services Microsoft is offering under the databases. Then analytics services. Okay, then AI and machine learning. Then IoT services. Okay, then mixed services, integration. Okay, you can integrate third-party application services with Azure. Identity services are very important. Under the identity service there is a concept of Azure Active Directory, जो हम अभी discuss करने वाले हैं into very basics, like how it works. So with the help of Azure Active Directory we can achieve identity management as a service. So under the identity management we can create a users, groups, policies, passwords. So multiple things we can do under the Azure Active Directory, which is comes under identity. Then there is a service of security. Now by using a security services we can enhance the security of the Azure infrastructure, network level security, virtual machine level security, storage level security. On each and every level we need to configure the security. Then DevOps services, very important and very demanding now. Okay, so by using a DevOps services you can design your CI/CD pipelines. Then migration services, Azure Migrate service, Azure database migration services, Azure Data Box. If you wanted to migrate huge data, okay, let's see your 10 TB data, so you will not use internet or you will not use site-to-site VPN. So there is a service, Azure Data Box. Microsoft will give a physical device into a location. You need to copy all the data into the device and you need to send that particular device into the data center. Migration. Then monitoring services, you can monitor the complete infrastructure. Management and governance. So governance part also very important. So people are asking into the interview like how you will governance your infrastructure, which options you will use. See, policies comes from governance. Like those policies you can compare with the group policies. So into the on-premises we are configuring using some group policies, right? So Microsoft Azure also offering some policies here. Then Intune services for end user management. Then hybrid and multi-cloud services. So by using Azure services you can monitor and you can manage AWS and Google Cloud as well. Also you can manage on-premises data center as well. Then other services. So around 300 plus services Microsoft is offering here, and we need to use required services, okay, as per the budget, as per the business requirement here. Let's go into the diagram, and now we are going to understand like how Microsoft works when you create an account on Microsoft portal. Okay, so what is a prerequisite now to create an account on Microsoft portal? Your prerequisite here is we need an email account, we need a credit card details, and we need a mobile number. Okay, so I'm ready with my account. Okay, I have credit card details, I have mobile number as well, but into my scenario already I have created my account. Okay, we need to understand here like how it works in the backend. So when you use your account, okay, when you create your account on Microsoft portal, okay, let's go into the cloud technopune@outlook.com. Okay, so this is the email account, this is the email ID we have, and with the help of that particular email account we are going to create an account on Microsoft portal. So what Microsoft is doing in the backend, okay, with the same time Microsoft is creating one Azure Active Directory in the backend. So Azure Active Directory will be a first service from your infrastructure. What Microsoft is doing, Microsoft is creating here Azure Active Directory. So Azure Active Directory will be the first service into your infrastructure. So Azure AD is nothing but it's a tenant. Okay, Microsoft is creating one Azure Active Directory, and the particular Azure Active Directory is getting created with some domain name, some child domain and parent domain. So your parent domain will be a dot on Microsoft.com. So on Microsoft.com will be a parent domain. And in all scenarios, let's take an example of POC, let's take an example of test environment, let's take an example of production environment. In all scenarios, Microsoft is using on Microsoft.com as a parent domain. Okay. So जब आप आपका account create करोगे, Microsoft will use on Microsoft.com. When you create an account for your customer, Microsoft will use on Microsoft.com. Okay. So on Microsoft.com will be the parent domain name. Okay. The particular domain name we will get under the Azure Active Directory. So with the parent domain, we are getting here child domain name as well. And child domain name will be a combination of your email account. So my email account here is cloudtechnopune@outlook.com. Okay. So my child domain name will be cloud techno pune. Okay. Outlook. Cloud techno pune outlook dot on Microsoft.com. So cloud techno pune outlook, ये है चाइल्ड डोमेन और ये है आपका पेरेंट डोमेन. ओके. एंड @ important here is @. So this is the complete FQDN, and the particular FQDN is getting generated automatically in the backend when you create an account on Microsoft portal. Any question here? Any question? Mahesh, any question? Rajiv, any
No,
question?
I was
Okay.
trying to tell it was freezing. The screen was freeze for me. That's the reason I asked. But it's okay now.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Rajiv, any question till? Rahul, any question? No questions.
Oh, Yogesh, you can continue.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Now, Microsoft is creating here one Azure Active Directory in the backend automatically when you create an account on Microsoft portal. And Azure Active Directory is nothing but it's a tenant. Okay, your tenant is getting created, and the particular tenant is getting created with the one domain name, and the domain name will be a cloud techno pune outlook dot on Microsoft.com. So on Microsoft.com is a parent domain, and cloud techno pune outlook will be a child domain. Under the particular Azure Active Directory, there is a concept of subscription. There is a concept of subscription. Subscription. So subscription is a logical boundary to generate the bill. Subscription is a logical boundary to generate the bill. So we can add multiple subscriptions. Okay, let's go step by step. Let's understand the first subscription, single subscription only. So under the Azure Active Directory, we need to add subscription, and subscription will be a logical boundary to generate the bill. So what Microsoft is doing, Microsoft is generating the bill on a subscription level. So for example, when you deal with your home or when you deal with your flat, so your MACB bill is getting generated on customer ID number, right? Customer ID. So MACB is not understanding your name or your mobile number. MACB is understanding only your ID, right? With the same way, Microsoft is generating the bill on subscription level, and each subscription will have subscription ID. आपको यहाँ पे एक subscription ID भी मिलेगा, subscription ID. So subscription is a logical boundary to generate the bill. Means on a subscription level, Microsoft will generate the bill. If you have 2 subscriptions, then Microsoft will generate the 2 bills. If you have 10 subscriptions, then Microsoft will generate the 10 bills. If you have 50 subscription, then Microsoft will generate the 50 bill per month. So subscription is a logical boundary to generate the bill from Microsoft. Any question on subscription level?
No.
Okay, perfect. So under the subscription now, okay, under the subscription, okay, so before that let's understand the types of subscriptions. So into the industry we'll have multiple types. Let's start with the free subscriptions कि जो आपको 1 month use करना है. So Microsoft is offering free subscription for 1 month, and after 1 month you need to use pay as you go subscription. Pay as you go subscription you need to use. So this is the paid subscription. Okay, you need to pay every month. Okay, Microsoft will generate the bill every month and you need to pay it. Okay, then into the industry you will get CSP subscription. I have seen now people are moving towards CSP subscription. I have seen people are using enterprise subscription as well, but now nowadays people are not using enterprise one. Okay, I'm using Visual Studio enterprise subscription. So features wise there is no different or no change. All services you will get with all subscriptions, but the moment you deal with the free subscription there are multiple limitations from Microsoft. Okay, so multiple limitations. You will not able to deploy more than 2 virtual machines, okay, in a single region. Why? Because you are using a free subscription. But the moment you add pay as you go subscription, then there is no limitation. You can deploy infrastructure as per your requirement. Okay, so what you need to do, first month you need to use free subscription. Into the first month Microsoft is going to provide here 13,400 rupees. आपको यहाँ पे 13,400 rupees INR मिलेंगे. INR Indian currency, Indian rupees, right? And you need to consume 13,400 in a 1 month. If you are not consuming then it will lapse. Okay, so आपको by default 13,400 rupees मिलेंगे आपके subscription में. Okay, Microsoft will credit 13,400 rupees under subscription, and then you can use Azure infrastructure. You can try the multiple services. After 1 month it will not work automatically. Your free subscription will get expired after 1 month. Okay, now so this is the subscription we need to add, we need to create under the Azure Active Directory only. If you ask me, sir, I do not have Azure Active Directory and can we add the subscription, answer will be a no. There is a dependency. Okay, so your subscription completely depend on Azure Active Directory. If you do not have Azure Active Directory, then you cannot create a subscription. The next component will be a important component, and next component will be here resource group. What is the next component? Resource group. And resource group is a logical boundary to generate the resources. So resource group you can compare with your folder or directories. Like you're keeping your data on your laptop and desktop, right? So you're not keeping your all data into a single drive, right? You're keeping some data on C drive, keeping some data on D drive, right? You're keeping some files into a E drive, right? Also you're creating multiple directories, multiple folders, right? Also you're creating multiple folders, multiple directories, and you're segregating the data, right, with the help of multiple folders. With the same way into the Azure infrastructure we need to create a resource groups. So when you create a resource group you need to provide the two details, very important. When you create a resource group you need to provide the details. You need to provide the subscription detail. Also you need to provide the location, data center location, under which location you wanted to deploy resources. Because once you provide the location and once you provide the subscription detail, Microsoft will charge on a subscription basis. The same thing we have discussed, right? The moment you spin up the virtual machine, so virtual machine comes under resource group. Now let's take an example. आपने यहाँ पे एक virtual machine deploy किया. You have deployed virtual machine, and the particular resource group you are deployed under the central India data center. So what Microsoft will do now, Microsoft will use the calculator, okay, which is deployed for central India, and Microsoft will generate the bill on a subscription level. So ऐसे कभी नहीं होगा कि आपका bill same है. If you are deploying one virtual machine in India and same virtual machine you are deployed into the US region, and costing will be same? No, your costing will be differ data center to data center. Okay, because your infrastructure cost will be a depend on management cost, data center management cost. So when you compare the costing between multiple regions, let's compare between India and US. So when you deploy in infrastructure in India, it's a very costly compared to US regions. So that's why I'm demonstrating all the labs from the US region. I'm deploying the multiple services, multiple servers in East US data center and West US data center, which is very, very cheaper compared to Central India and South India. Any question here? Any question, any doubt till?
Sir, that free and pay-as-you-go subscription we understood, but difference between the CSP and enterprise and Visual Studio.
Yeah, see,
That part I
CSP,
missed.
yeah, CSP concept we will discuss today only. Let's wait, okay? Let's go step by step. We will
Okay.
discuss the CSP
Okay.
concept. Let's wait. Yeah. Enterprise not required. Enterprise no one is using now, okay? But CSP concepts you need to understand because it's very, very important from the interview perspective. Okay,
Okay.
इतना clear है सबको? Any doubt till?
As you said, this resource cost is different between India or the US region. So
Right.
different means for
So
the same
costing
resources they are going to.
charge different. Yes. Because see, data center India में data center manage करने के लिए ज्यादा charges लगते हैं उनको. US में data center manage करने के लिए कम charges लगते रहेंगे. So that's why they are charging more into the India. In India, we have multiple taxations, right?
Yeah.
Clear?
Okay. Yeah, please go.
Okay, thanks. Now let's go into the next point. So we have discussed the complete architecture here. Like when you create an account on Microsoft portal, Microsoft is creating one Azure Active Directory. Azure Active Directory is nothing but it's a tenant, right? And under the tenant, we need to add the subscription. So we can add single subscription, we can add multiple subscriptions as well as per the business requirement. We will discuss later like why we need a multiple subscriptions. Under the subscription, there is a concept of resource group. Okay, resource groups are completely depends on subscription and data centers. So during the resource group creation, we need to provide the details like under which subscription you wanted to deploy resource group and under the which region, which location you wanted to deploy a resource group here. Then under the resource group, we need to deploy resources. So virtual machine is a resource, a load balancer is a resource, storage is a resource. So multiple resources we can deploy under the resource group. Okay, so this is the hierarchy you will get into a Azure infrastructure. So let's understand the concept of the CSP now. What is CSP and how it works? So under the CSP now, customers are getting the multiple features, okay, or advantages, okay, like CSPs are offering extra 10% discounts, okay. So let's understand the concept of the CSP, okay. So now every company is acting as a CSP. Your company also acting as a CSP, my company also acting as a CSP. Let's understand the scenario now. What is CSP and why we need to purchase the subscription from the CSP. Now we have two scenarios. Understand the concept from the business perspective as well. So into the first scenario, I need 200 virtual machines. What is the my requirement? I needed 200 virtual machines, and those 200 virtual machines I'm going to deploy on Microsoft Azure platform. Okay, ये जो 200 virtual machines है, I'm going to deploy on Microsoft Azure. So I do not have any idea of the CSP concepts. Okay, so as a customer, okay, what I can do, I can create an account on a Microsoft portal, right? Then I need to add one subscription, pay as you go subscription. I need to add, right, under my account, and then I can deploy the infrastructure. I can deploy here 200 virtual machines. Simple, right? So if I ask, okay, to the CSP to provide the subscription, so CSP can provide a more discounts here. Okay, so CSP you can compare with the dealer. Okay, so your TCS is acting as a CSP, Tech Mahindra is acting as a CSP, Atos is acting as a CSP, Infosys is acting as a CSP. So all companies are acting as a CSP now. So what CSPs are saying, let's purchase the subscription from my side, okay, and we will give the 10% more discount or 12% more discount, okay, on your final billing. Okay, why? Because CSPs are getting the more discounts, huge discounts from the Microsoft. Okay, so let's take an example. TCS having, let's say, 50 customers. So TCS is saying to the Microsoft, yes, this year I will give X amount of business. Okay, so Microsoft is saying, yes, if you give the X amount of business, then we will give X amount of discounts. Okay, so that particular discounts are getting adjusted as a more discounts to the customers. Okay, so TCS is getting, let's say, 20% discount from Microsoft. So out of 20%, 10% discount TCS will segregate into their customers. So 10% will be a margin for TCS. So CSP is nothing but it's a dealer. Okay, it's a reseller. So they are getting the services from Microsoft, they are getting the subscriptions from Microsoft, and those subscriptions they are segregating or deploying for their customers. So now people are migrating their infrastructures from enterprise subscription to CSP subscriptions. Why? Because there is no discount concept into the enterprise subscription, and there is a discount concept into the CSP subscription. So let's take a scenario. If you are paying around 1 lakh rupees per month to the Microsoft, 1 lakh rupees per month to the Microsoft, and so the particular billing you configured into the pay as you go, you are not getting any discount, single rupees discount. And what CSP is saying, if you move all the infrastructure into my subscription, okay, so we can give the 15% discount. Means every month I can save 15,000 rupees, right? So into the first scenario, I'm paying 1 lakh rupees. But after migrating the infrastructure into the CSP subscription, CSP is giving 15% discount. So every month I can save 15,000 rupees, right, from my final billing. So this is the benefit we are getting when we purchase the subscription from the CSP. And now there are multiple companies acting as a CSP. There are multiple startup companies as well, like they're acting as a CSP for the Microsoft. Any question till?
What is the full form of CSP?
So cloud service provider.
Sorry, okay.
Provider or cloud service partner as well. Okay, some people are saying provider, some people are saying partner. Okay.
Yes. So I just have a question, like why Microsoft is selling this what we can say subscription selling part to other companies? Like if itself is getting profit from it, why will it he share it with
No, because
others?
see, Microsoft knows like multiple company having their customer base, right? So let's take a example of Atos. So Atos having their own customers, right? So Atos can push Microsoft Azure to their customers. So that's why Microsoft is giving huge
Okay,
discounts to the CSPs.
okay, got it now. Thanks.
Any question? Raju, any question? Mahesh, any question? Nilesh, Rahul, any question?
No, all good.
Okay, perfect. let's go into the portal now and let me demonstrate step by step each and every component. So this is the portal, okay, and I have logged in by using my email account, which is cloudtechnopune@outlook.com. Okay, so Cloud Techno Pune is the my company name. Okay, and Microsoft has created here one domain name. So let's go into the Azure Active Directory. So Azure Active Directory is getting created automatically during the account creation, and Microsoft is using here free Azure Active Directory. Okay, so this is the concept of free. Okay, so this is the name. So why default directory? Because the particular directory is getting created automatically during my account creation. जब मैंने ये account create किया तब ये domain create हुआ. Okay, that's why Microsoft is saying here default directory. So primary domain is cloudtechnopune@outlook.on microsoft.com, as we discussed. On microsoft.com is a parent domain, and cloud technopune outlook is a child domain. Okay, so Microsoft is offering Azure Active Directory free licenses. So under the Azure Active Directory there are three license model: free, premium 1 and premium 2. So P1 P2 is the paid one, and by default Microsoft is offering free Azure Active Directory. And under the Azure Active Directory we can create a users, groups, identities, roles, management. So multiple things we can do. So Azure Active Directory comes under identity management. We can perform identity and management without deploying any physical or virtual server. Like into the on-premises, if you ask me, sir, I wanted to deploy or I wanted to create a multiple users, then what you need to do? You need to create or you need to deploy Active Directory server. Under the AD server, you need to create a users, groups, policies, right? But into the Azure Active Directory, no need to deploy any server. Why? Because Azure Active Directory also comes under SaaS services, software as a service. Just you need to purchase the licenses. If you do not have budget to purchase the licenses, then let's use the free Azure Active Directory, right? So into the free Azure Active Directory, we'll have very limited functionality. Basic functionality we can do here. We can get the users, groups, passwords, policies. We can define it. Okay. We can synchronize Windows Active Directory with the Azure Active Directory as well, using a free subscription or free account as well. Okay, so this is the first service. This is the tenant. This is the Azure Active Directory. Default directory is getting created automatically during the account creation. So under the Azure Active Directory, there is a concept of subscriptions. Let's go into the subscription. This is the subscription. ये आपका subscription है. So into my scenario, I am using a Visual Studio and Enterprise subscription because I have certified Microsoft certified trainer. So Microsoft is giving a particular subscription, okay, to demonstrate all the services to my students. So this is the Visual Studio Enterprise subscription, and into the some scenarios I am using pay as you go subscription as well. So I have pay as you go subscription as well. So into the pay as you go subscription, I'm paying the bill on a monthly basis, because into the Visual Studio and Enterprise subscription there are some limitation. Okay, if I wanted to demonstrate, let's say, third-party firewall deployment on Azure, then I cannot do it. Okay, so such services, such labs, we are going to perform under the pay as you go subscription. So what I wanted to highlight here, the moment you deal with the subscription, see, the particular subscription is getting created under which directory? Directory is cloud technopune outlook.on microsoft.com. My first subscription, Visual Studio Enterprise subscription, right? So this is the subscription here, and the particular subscription also getting created under the same directory. So as a diagram, if you ask, so under the Azure Active Directory, I have two subscriptions. मेरे पास यहाँ पे दो subscriptions है under the same Active Directory. Subscription 1 and subscription 2. So ये मेरा pay as you go subscription है.
So ये बहुत lag हो रहा है. It's everyone is facing the same issue or only the me?
I'm not sure what is the problem. It's not a
I was facing it, but
No.
now it is okay.
okay.
I was facing it, but
No.
now I think it is.
Okay. So this is pay as you go subscription, and this is my Visual Studio Enterprise subscription. Visual Studio Enterprise subscription. Okay. So any question, any doubt till Mahesh? Any question? Raju, any question?
No, Yogesh. It's all
No,
right.
Yogesh.
Okay. Yeah. So what we will do now? Let's stop here. Next week we will connect and we will start the first component, first service, which is infrastructure as a service. Under the infrastructure as a service, we are going to cover. We are going to start with the virtual machine. We will discuss what is virtual machine, how it works, okay, how to create a resource groups, and under the resource group, how to deploy virtual machine. So, any question, any doubt into the today's session?
योगेश, ये Azure Active Directory में यूजर्स एंड ग्रुप्स के बारे में थोड़ा सा आप डिटेल देंगे?
हाँ. So Azure Active Directory is a default service, and under the Azure Active Directory, what we can do now? Let's go into the Azure Active Directory. We can create a users and groups. So let's go into the users now. So let's create a user. Like you are creating a users under the Windows Active Directory, the same concept here. Okay. So let's create, let's see, user 500. Okay. And by default, Microsoft is using as a domain Azure Active Directory domain. Okay. Cloud Techno Pune Outlook.on Microsoft.com. This is a default domain. Okay. Cloud Techno Pune Outlook.on Microsoft.com is a default domain. And under that particular domain, we are going to deploy, or we are going to create a username. Okay. And this is the password, auto generated password, and the particular password we need to change during the first login. Okay. So if you want, you can add particular user into the group. If you want, you can provide the permission. So those permissions we will discuss into the Azure Active Directory session. Let's create.
So Azure Active Directory session जो है वो आज complete नहीं हुआ है. So we will be taking it to the next week.
No. See. No. Wait. See, हमारा जो हमारा flow कैसे है? First, we will understand like how Azure works in the backend when we create account. जब आप account create करेंगे तब आपको understand होना चाहिए कि backend में क्या हो रहा है. That's it. Okay. We will start from the virtual machine, and then there is a separate lab, separate topic for Azure Active Directory, where we will understand the multiple concepts from the Azure Active Directory, users, groups. Then we will understand the policies, log management groups. Then we will understand the synchronization, how we can synchronize Windows Active Directory with the Azure Active Directory using Azure AD Connect. So वो सारे features हम Azure Active Directory में पढ़ने वाले हैं.
Okay. मुझे लगा कि आज ये that means topic cover हो गया, इसलिए मुझे लगा कि वो चीज हमने नहीं बात की, इसलिए मैं बोला.
नहीं. Azure Active Directory, see, अगर मैं आपको आज ही Azure Active Directory पढ़ाऊंगा तो आपको confusion होगा. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start with the virtual machine. Okay. पहले आप पूरे पोर्टल को थोड़ा सा फैमिलियर हो जाओ. ओके. पोर्टल में कैसे लॉगिन करना है, क्या करना है, VMs कैसे डिप्लॉय करना है, बेसिक. ओके. And then we will go step by step with the advanced topic.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. So fine with that, we can discuss it in the next class. That's fine.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Sir, ये recording you will be sharing this recording.
Yes, after 20 minutes. Yeah, after 20-25 minutes, you will get the recordings. Okay.
Okay.
Next week में जो क्लास होने वाला है उसमें हम लोग कौन सा टॉपिक कवर करने वाले हैं, so that अगर मान लो किसी को अगर पढ़ना हो या just wanted to be little bit prepared for it.
हाँ, ये देखो, if you want I can share the content one more time on our group. Okay. See, next week we are going to start from the Azure virtual machine and management. So under the Azure virtual machine we are going to cover around 17 topics. हम 17 topics पे बात करेंगे virtual machine में. Okay, what is virtual machine, how it works, what is public IP, what is private IP address, what is FQDN, how to publish the website using a third party domain, what is DNS, disk, data disk, okay, disk snapshot, then how we can use the snapshot option during the troubleshooting, then image, master image, how to deploy Linux virtual machine, network security group, availability set, ARM template से VM कैसे deploy करना है, and then how we can automate the infrastructure using a custom.
So can you put all these 17 points on that WhatsApp group? Okay, just take it as in the next week topic, so that
Yes.
अगर किसी को पढ़ना हो तो वो पढ़ के आ सकता है ये सब चीजें,
Okay.
ताकि उसको
Yes.
ताकि अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए उसके लिए अच्छा रहे.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, I have provided details, yeah, into the
Yeah.
WhatsApp group.
हाय योगेश, रंजित हियर. तो ये जो अपना जो क्लास चलने वाला है, पैरेलल हम लैब्स करेंगे और यू आर प्रोवाइड सम फ्री सब्सक्रिप्शन जो आप बोल रहे थे, योर एमसीटी. ओके, बिकॉज 1 मंथ में ये तो ऐसे ही खत्म हो जाएगा. यू नो,
तो
वीकेंड पे
तो
कुछ
ये जो
अल्टरनेटिव्स प्रैक्टिस के लिए है.
अभी आपको क्या करना है, first you need to create a free subscription. So I'm not going to provide any subscription. Okay, first month you need to use free subscription, and once you expired means expire होने के बाद आपको pay as you go subscription ऐड करना है आपके पोर्टल में. ओके, सो फ्री सब्सक्रिप्शन में आपको वो कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डअप नहीं होगा, ओके, जो होना चाहिए, बिकॉज फ्री सब्सक्रिप्शन विल हैव मल्टीपल लिमिटेशंस. like as I said, you cannot deploy more than 2 virtual machines, right? So ये वाले केस में फिर आपको पे एज यू गो ही करना पड़ेगा, एंड यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू पे मोर देन 300 रुपीज पर मंथ. ओके, सो ओनली वन थंब रूल यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि आपको लैब्स, आपको पूरे रिसोर्स ग्रुप को डिलीट करना है वंस यू कंप्लीट द लैब. अगर गलती से भी वो लैब आपके ऐसे ही छूट जाते हैं या रिसोर्सेज ऐसे ही रह जाते हैं, तो देन माइक्रोसॉफ्ट विल नॉट स्टॉप द बिलिंग, राइट? आपका बिलिंग बढ़ते जाएगा. सो आपका थंब रूल क्या होना है कि आप लैब करो, लैब करने के बाद इमीडिएटली आप वो रिसोर्स ग्रुप्स को डिलीट कर दो.
ओके, और अंडर बिलिंग लिमिट सेट कर सकते हैं ना हम?
Yes, we can set up the limit. Yes, we can set up the limit. I'll demonstrate next week only like how to set up the alert. तो आपको एक ईमेल भी आएगा, आपको एसएमएस भी आएगा कि अगर वो पर्टिकुलर को टच होता है, so then you will get one alert, and then you can delete the resources or you can do the findings कि कहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है. Okay, तो क्रेडिट कार्ड इज रिक्वायर्ड, तो सबके पास क्रेडिट कार्ड होने चाहिए विद द इंटरनेशनल ट्रांजिशन इनेबल्ड. ओके,
अगर क्रेडिट कार्ड नहीं तो सर अपना क्रेडिट कार्ड दे देंगे सबको.
नहीं सर, नहीं, डेबिट कार्ड. डेबिट, तो लेट्स यूज द डेबिट कार्ड. डेबिट कार्ड भी चलेगा, बट इंटरनेशनल ट्रांजिशन इनेबल होना चाहिए. दैट्स इट. ओके, okay, any doubt, any question till?
No, sir. Nothing from my end.
No, Yogesh.
Okay.
No,
Sure.
all
It
good.
was a nice session today. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, so ऐसे ही सारे सेशन हम पढ़ेंगे with the multiple scenario, with the multiple cases.
Next week Sunday 1 to 3.
Sunday. Yeah, 1 to 3:30. Yeah, 3:30 we will do
1 to 3:30. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Okay.
Take care.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Yogesh.